I'm Zaza. Today we are going to try the tandoori chicken from this book, the Asian Barbecue Cookbook, and you can find this on page 80 of this book here. Yeah, so it lists down here all the recipes, but what I'm going to do is to go through with you the recipe here and the step-by-step instruction as per the book how we are going to prepare it, and we'll see how it goes. Now here we have the lime juice, the paprika, salt, butter, onions that you cut into ring, cardamom, mace, as well as clove. Now sometimes it's very difficult to get mace, so if you cannot find mace, I think my personal suggestion is to use nutmeg. You have then cumin here, coriander, ginger, as well as garlic, and the yogurt. The first step of this book says you first have to start cutting 6 mm gashes of cut into the chicken. I've already pre-cut a little bit, but I'm just going to show you. Around this area here, you just want to give it a bit of a cut. You don't have to be precise to make it 6 mm. You can just, as long as it's a deep gash. Yeah? So we prepare all of it. I've already pre-cut some of it, so just cut it. Some people would remove all this. Yeah? So I have here, if you notice, that I've used I remove all the skin here, so because I don't like the skin on my chicken, but you can choose to keep the skin if you want. I deliberately left a little bit of fats around here because I think it will give you a little bit of juice when you are cooking it, so it's not so dry on it. Yeah? So the first step of this, after we've done that, is we need to rub the chicken here with the lime juice, the paprika here, or the cayenne pepper. Yeah. For the complete recipe, you can check it in the book, page 80 again. A little bit of salt, and then you start rubbing everything into the chicken. Well, I believe the reason why the author has asked us to cut the gashes inside is so that the marinade will actually go in, seep into the meat nicely. So we're going to just rub it really nicely together. After this, as stated here, we are going to leave it aside for 20 minutes. Okay, the second step now is to toast all the spices here. You put in the coriander, cumin, and the mace, cardamom, and clove. Now this is what I really love about this recipe book. It has, it does it in a very, very traditional way, where you don't buy ground spices. Instead, you try to toast everything and grind them. It is, I think, so authentic, and I love it. So this is the paste that I've grounded the garlic and the ginger together with all the spices. We have to now whisk the yogurt. This is 1 cup of yogurt. Just give it a bit of a whisking. And then what we will do is to add the paste into here. Whisk it really nicely. See here. And add this into the mixture. Yeah. At this point, at this stage, it says that you can actually put in the coloring because tandoori is normally known to be red in color. So you can choose to put the coloring. For me, I prefer to keep it as natural as it can get, so I'll skip the coloring here. So you just whisk it really nicely, and you can see until it's completely combined. And we are going to add this to the chicken that we have set aside earlier on for 20 minutes. Just add everything together. Okay. And then you rub it into the chicken. This, you want to keep it marinated overnight as instructed in the book. Some books they say you can keep it for 4 hours, but yeah, keep it for overnight. You can follow exactly what the book says. So this is the chicken that I actually prepared yesterday to marinate it overnight. And here is the balance of the marinade, which I actually simmer it as instructed in the book. Simmer it in the butter that you have, I presented earlier on today. So what we're going to do is to actually grill this steak. Now the grilling part here is a little bit tricky because this is a barbecue. So if you typically just have a barbecue, it's very easy. Just put it on your barbecue grill. But if you don't have a barbecue at home, you use electric grill. Or some people might just put it in the frying pan. So it's really up to you at this point. Most important of all, does it taste good or not when we eat it later. Okay. So for me, I'm going to just put it in the grill, setting the temperature at 220 degrees. Yeah. Just put it on top here, as you can see. And then going to put it into the oven for about 20 minutes. We'll try for 20 minutes and then we'll see, we'll check whether it's done. And I'm going to set this 20 minutes. So I've given it 15 minutes of grilling, so we need to baste it. Now, depending on your chicken, it might take different timing before your chicken is actually cooked. So maybe if it's small, maybe it's 10, 15, 20 minutes. I'm not sure about that, but you have to check, make sure that it is not overdone. So, but what you can do is you need to check whether the juices run clear. I don't have a needle here, so I'm just going to use a knife. Poke it where it's like the deepest, and then put it on your ball here, the ball. And if it's not warm enough, means it's not very cooked. So we have to put it in the oven again. I believe this one I might have to put in for another 10 minutes of grilling. Then we'll see what happens to it after that. Okay, this chicken has been in the oven now for about 30 minutes here. I have turned the chicken once and I basted it 2 times. So now we come to step 7 of this book here. In this part here, it says here, in order to crisp the skin, we don't have skin here, but to get that barbecue effect, I need to put it over coal for 5 to 10 minutes before the chicken is done. This chicken is not completely done, so I think it's enough for me to put it 5 to 10 minutes. But since I do not have coal here, what do? I'm going to put it on my cast iron grill pan and put it there for 5 to 10 minutes until the chicken is completely cooked and then we have that charred effect. Okay, so this is the cast iron grill. We're going to now char the chicken. I've already oiled the grill pan. This is called improvising, basically. So if you don't have the barbecue, you improvise. Now we are going to test it. Let's give it a cut. Oh, you know, as you cut it, it does feel very soft inside here. It does not feel like it's hard. Let me just cut it into a smaller piece for me to try. You can see this is very soft for me to cut, very easy to cut. Let's see whether this recipe works. Wow, it's really good. I'm really impressed with this recipe. You know, this author here, Alex Skaria. Well done. Not bad. Really good.